Hey everyone, welcome back. Austin here. I'm in our Cook Your Catch kitchen, and today we're going to make a blueberry and rhubarb bread pudding. It's a staple in our restaurant as well as our wilderness dining camp and our Cook Your Catch program. So we have some beautiful rhubarb that we got from a friend of ours, as well as some wild blueberries that we foraged. So first step, we're going to place our rhubarb and blueberries in a bowl with a little fresh ginger and lemon juice. We're going to mix that up and let that acid get into the fruit. Slowly start to break it down a little bit, and that's going to almost kind of marinate with the ginger. I'm going to set that aside and start our next step. So next step is going to be creating our liquid base for the bread pudding. It's brown sugar, a mix of cream, heavy cream and milk, eggs, vanilla, cinnamon, and nutmeg. This recipe is actually on our website at exclusivealaska.com, so check that out, as well as our fish and chip recipe and some other staples on our menu. Add our cream and milk, our eggs, vanilla, cinnamon and nutmeg, and lastly our brown sugar. And we're going to mix this until well combined. So our last step, we have one loaf of bread that we've cut up. I slightly dried it out. That helps it really have a nice texture and soak up that liquid. Next step, we want to combine this. The easiest way is to honestly use your hands, and we're going to coat all the bread, let it soak in the liquid, and then fold in our fruit. I'm going to add our fruit that we marinated and fold it in gently, and then we're going to put it in our cast iron and bake it. And lastly, we're going to make a crumble for the top of it, and that is flour mixed with brown sugar. It's a half and half ratio of flour and brown sugar. And to that, we're going to add our melted butter. Combine that until it's almost kind of a paste, almost a dough consistency. I'm going to take my cast iron skillet and lightly grease that before we put in the bread pudding. That's just going to help it to not stick a little bit. If you're doing this in a baking pan, you can also use parchment paper. I like kind of the crispy edges that this achieves in the cast iron. So to add our bread pudding mixture to the cast iron, and I'll lightly press it down just so there aren't any large pockets of air. We're going to take our crumble. It does help to put this in the cooler for a little bit so the butter stays cold. And we're just going to lightly dust this on top. Use your hands, you can break it up a little bit. And we're going to do an even coat along the top, and we're not going to press this down at all. All right, so we're ready to go in the oven. We're going to go in at 350 degrees, and we're going to check on it after about 45 minutes. So it's been in the oven 45 minutes. We're going to check it out. It's beautiful. Set up, nice color. This is ready to go. So to plate this up, we're just going to do it really rustic and take a scoop out, almost like we're having a cobbler here. So we have our beautiful blueberry and rhubarb pudding, and to garnish it, we do a little bit of whipped cream, crystallized ginger, and caramel sauce. All right, so let's taste our bread pudding. See all the beautiful fruit in there? I've had this before, but I'll tell you how it tastes after I take a bite. So this is a wonderful way to celebrate the blueberries and rhubarb. And we actually have a blueberry festival here in the summer. So if you're lucky enough to to be here during that, it's a great time to come to Ketchikan, or we'll have this anytime for you at the Alaska Fish House or with one of our fishing excursions.